Hello, my name is Jason Bartner.
And I'm Ashley Bartner.
And together we run La Tavola Marche.
An agriturismo, farm, inn, and cooking school.
5 years ago, we left our crazy, hectic lives in New York City for a much simpler, saner, healthier, happier way of living in the beautiful Italian countryside. How did we come to live in La Marche?
The first question when anyone arrives is, how did you find this house? So we came to Italy on our honeymoon in 2006. We were walking through Trastevere, which is a neighborhood outside of Rome, which is very much like Brooklyn, where we were living at the time. And I said, we could live here. And he said, oh yeah, sure we can. And I said, no, like, this is a moment. We could live here. And I still don't think you believed me at first.
Nope. And once we made our decision, yes, we're going to try and do this. We canceled our cable and we enrolled in language lessons, and we really kind of put all our energy into coming out here. In New York, I was trained classic French, and in New York it was more about what was in style, and here it's about what's in season. We cook totally with the seasons, and it's really more than the slow food movement, it's really the following what the earth is giving you movement, and taking the freshest possible ingredients and doing the least amount to them. I take whatever's fresh and do very, very little to it. I think it's taking the ego out of the kitchen, because as my job as a chef now, I think, or as a cook, is to get out of the way. Nature's made these ingredients perfect. Why would I want to transform them into something else? All I want to do is cook them and highlight them and make them the best that they can be. And it's a fundamental change. I really enjoy teaching people that you don't have to be a chef, that you don't have to spend a lot of money or a lot of time to create something that's delicious and healthy and quick. You can come home from work on a Wednesday, and instead of popping the box of macaroni and cheese or throwing that whatever in the microwave, with a few simple ingredients you can create something that for yourself and for your family is much, much better tasting and much better for you.
Enter the magic.
We try to eat in a 0-kilometer diet. I know that sounds extreme. How do you say 0 kilometers? Well, we grow as much as we possibly can. We are an agriturismo. 80% of what you serve to your guests must be from the land and or from the surrounding area. What we serve is completely grown from our property, and we have the chickens that supply us the eggs for the pasta, and they also make us beautiful broth in the fall. Then we go off to the market to buy fresh produce and the milk and things like that that are needed that we don't produce here on our farm. And it's to the meat and cheese warehouse, Domenico Fusciani's. Then we come back and start preparing the meal for dinner.
We're 19 tonight? 17, 18?
Jason had said, you have these grand ideas of us moving to Italy and starting a cooking school. I've never taught before. I said, but you're an incredible chef. I know you can do this.
Today we're going to do a very, very simple recipe with something that is in abundance this time of year, zucchini. And any recipe that can use some of this is good by me. So today we're going to do something that's very, very simple. 5 ingredients, a little bit of zucchini, some cherry tomatoes, a little bit of prosciutto, garlic, and I have these zucchini flowers just to give it some color. The great part about this dish is that you can substitute any vegetable you want. Today we're using spaghetti alla chitarra, a long thin pasta, but say you don't have spaghetti, you want to do it with penne. There's no laws, there's no pasta police, you can do it with whatever pasta you want to do it with. Since we have a nice long pasta, we want to cut a nice long zucchini slice. We're going to cut what's called on the bias, and you can do 2 things. You could either put your knife on a 45-degree angle or put the zucchini on a 45-degree angle. It doesn't matter. And we want to cut nice, even slices all the way through. No fun shapes, not one small, one big, because these are going to cook in 2 entirely different times. You're saying, well, how do I make this dish with cherry tomatoes even if I'm doing it with broccoli in the autumn? Well, what I do is I wait for the highest season of the tomato season. And that, no matter where you live, tomatoes will be in season at some time. And you buy a big bunch of them, you let them sit on the shelf for a day or 2 and go overripe. Then you pick them off, throw them onto a cookie sheet into the freezer. Once they're frozen, you can put them into a Ziploc bag, and now when you need 3 or 4 cherry tomatoes to make this pasta dish in November, you got them. These recipes that I do are very, very simple. There's nothing to it, but it's the little things that make the differences. And I'm going to give these to her, and all she's going to do is open up the flour, pull out the stamen and the pistil, and that's it. And then we'll just tuck them into the pasta right like that. Next, we have a few slices of prosciutto I like to add, cut up really thinly. I like to put this in to round out the flavors and give it a little salty component to the dish. Just 3 or 4 slices. I just lay them down, roll them on up, and slice them on up. Garlic. All we do is take our knife, give them a little smash, the skins come right off, and they can go right on in there. So I think we're ready to go. We have all of our components together. We have our zucchini, our tomatoes, our prosciutto, some garlic, the zucchini flowers. Of course, there's olive oil, salt, and pepper in it, and that's it. Let's go cook it. About 4 or 5 glugs of olive oil into a pan. Have the heat. The heat is very, very low. And then we're going to throw our pieces of garlic in whole and let it brown on all sides. And then when it's brown on all sides, you remove it. And this is ingenious, because if you've ever taken garlic and chopped it up and thrown it in and it burns, burnt taste will never come out of the dish. So you just have to throw it away and start over. Here, we're going to keep the garlic whole, much harder to burn. The oil and the taste of the garlic will go into the oil, and then we take it out and remove it. Everyone loves to talk about extra virgin, cold pressed, cold filtered olive oil. Go to your big store where you buy the big bulk stuff if you have a big family, and buy a jug of olive oil. Cook with that because you get the health benefits. Then you go to a fancy store and you get yourself a beautiful bottle of extra virgin, cold pressed, blah blah blah, in the fancy writing with the cute label, and that you use to finish your pasta dishes or put over your salads or top it over your vegetables. And in the long run, you'll save money and you still get the same health benefits. And it's honestly a waste to put a beautiful olive oil into the pan because you'll never taste the difference. Okay, zucchini goes in. We season as we go always. A little salt. As you like it, a little bit of chili flakes. Very important to season as you go. I cook by visual cues. It's crazy to sit here and tell you that I know this zucchini will be cooked in 3.5 minutes. No, we're looking for a visual cue, and when the inside of the zucchini turns to more of a clear, more of a translucent color, then they're ready to go on to the next step, which will be adding your tomatoes.
I think we make a great team, and there's something so satisfying about creating a special holiday for someone here and connecting them through the food to the culture and the people of this area. And I take pride in that for sure, and knowing that for each one of these people this is a brand new discovery, and for them we are this key that unlocks that door, whether it be to food or to the meat and cheese warehouse. But it is such a wonderful experience for us, and so it makes it new for me every time we have new guests as well, because it's this new excitement and this new thing we get to share and say, look at this beautiful place we live, this incredible food we get to eat, and this quality of life we get to living here in the countryside. And it just, I don't know, I love it.
It's a ton of work.
It is, but...
It's a ton of work, but it's really, I wouldn't change one day of it. I love it. Are you happy?
I am. I did choke myself up.